Hello everybody, we are here with a timeless tarot reading. If you are new, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Welcome to the channel. My name is Gabriella. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, so I'm seeing you either come across information, like you see something, you hear something, or you have a conversation that maybe gets you feeling a little stuck, maybe a little nervous about something. There's a surprise here. It just feels like you, coming across information or finding something out. I want to know the nature, though, of this, because there are so many reasons why that could come up. Like, this could be a good kind of anxiety. Maybe this is like an unwanted kind. Ooh, how about that? We're starting off with the Six of Pentacles. No, actually, I lied. It's the Six of Cups. My mistake. We have the Six of Cups here. Okay, listen. So I'm seeing that this is actually not about bringing something back from the past. It seems like something needs to be let go of, actually. I see this card very much as it being a moment of reflection where you can ask yourself, am I holding on to something so tightly that I'm not allowing it to be what it is in the present moment because I'm holding on to the past in such a tense way? And this can be so many things. It can be a person that you're not allowing to evolve as far as your perception. It can be you that you're doing that to, like truncating yourself in some way. It can be a situation that you're not letting go of, that you're not in that moment anymore, and so you're moving beyond that. Information coming through about the past. This was somebody that you were tied to. This feels like it's coming up so you can actually let go of it. Like it's becoming very apparent that you're holding this so you can let go of it. Feels like one of those moments where you're like, if I should let go, send me a sign. This is that sign. Something to be let go of. We're going to get further detail as to specifically, because I feel like it's quite vague right now, what the deal is here. This feels like one of those people that you could have had a connection with or had a potential connection with, but it seems like things may not have gone anywhere, or they didn't go where you wanted them to go, at least. Not all the way where you wanted them to go. So you may be taking a break from this situation. I feel like you're pulling something out of the filing cabinet here and like reading it down, like reviewing something. But there may be some like fresh information or a fresh perspective that you receive that allows you to hold on to what's important here and let go of what you don't need to hold on to anymore. But it seems like it takes looking at this to actually address it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So if there had been something that happened that was sort of emotionally swept under the rug and not really addressed or not really like looked at or processed fully, it seems like that's why this is coming up, so you can take an honest look at it. Because I'm seeing something connected with the past patterns, something that had happened, a connection with someone, and really putting this under a microscope. So the information that you're getting may be something that you're working throughout, like your own system. You may not have somebody bumping into you and telling you about something, although for some of you, you can be, because I'm seeing this Knight of Swords here. So somebody can be bringing something into the conversation about this thing from your past. But for some of you, I'm seeing that you may actually like have a recollection of something coming up and you're like, why is this coming up? And it's actually so you can work through it. So it is with purpose for sure. But your guides are saying like, actually look at this. Like, the Judgment card, in order for you to actually do this, Judgment is about assessing something and analyzing it. You have to actually look at it in order to do that. And I'm seeing this be connected with your past. Okay, so you've been doing this. This really does feel like filing cabinet, like reviewing these like past cases, like these past cycles that you've been through. So I'm seeing you've been working, but now you may feel like conflicted or stuck on something. It's like one of the files that's been gone through and you need to get rid of it now, but you may be like holding on to it for some reason. There's something about being unsure or undecided about how you want a particular outcome to play out. Like, do I want it to go this way? Do I want it to go that way? You still have feelings for this person? There's a part of you that may want to be with them. However, I'm also seeing that, like, you may not be clearly seeing things connected with, like, your experience with this person. Because this feels like a past memory that's very much tied to someone. And you may be looking back in like a really nostalgic sort of way. You know when like somebody's not in your life anymore, or like somebody's kind of set in the past for you, and when you recall it, you think about like the nice times and the good times and not necessarily like the reasons why things didn't work out. It feels like something like that is going on here, especially to have Pluto and Neptune now coming out, connecting with each other. This is the Judgment card and the Hanged Man. The Judgment card represents Pluto, the planet Pluto, and the Hanged Man represents Neptune. When you have a Pluto-Neptune contact with somebody, you feel like you kind of fall into like an alternate universe with this person that's like just you and this person knows about it. And there can be like this very obsessive quality to the connection that you have with the person. And to have Neptune here, it's kind of like, you, again, that alternate universe, like you just go into this like ethereal space with this person where it may actually be like legitimately disconnected with the reality of the situation. Like if you were completely detached and looking in, it may look very different than how you see things when you are still tethered to that connection with this person. So it seems like that's what's being brought up here. I'm seeing that you're going to be coming to an understanding. You just may not be at that point yet. Like you may still kind of, for some reason, there's like a little bit of a pedestal even feeling that you put this relationship on. Or like that like highlight reel of your past with this person, like it, just be realistic here about like whether or not that's an actual highlight reel and not the whole thing. Because I do get that sense of like you look back and you're like, wow, I remember how close we were. Remember that time you bought me flowers, and remember when this would happen and that would happen and we would go get food together. Like all of this stuff that's coming through for you, like the memory is about like looking into their eyes and all of that stuff, and how you never had someone you could talk to like that. It's like all of these little things that are coming up for you, where it's like really focusing on the good things with this person. I'm seeing it just get deeper and deeper and deeper. With Pluto, when you have a Pluto contact with somebody, it brings this element of like Pluto wants to like cut deep and to get inside of something and to understand it and to analyze it psychologically, and it becomes something that you can become very fixated on. And so even if this doesn't have like play right now in your life, like maybe this person isn't in your life anymore, there's still those times where it's like before you go to bed, you're thinking about them, or like when a thought comes up, you want to like play it all the way out. It's kind of like this little secret fantasy space of yours that you go into when it comes to this person, especially too with Neptune here. Because Neptune can have us seeing what we want to see and what's not, and not what's actually there. But I'm seeing that like I almost get like this sense of awareness of like, you know that this is something that happens, and at the same time, if you kind of like want to go into that land, you can sort of do it. It's one of those moments when you're like, I know that I'm sort of going into an alternate universe when I imagine this person, and at the same time, I'm like aware that I'm doing that, but also I can go into that and kind of like enter that movie scene if I want to. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I'm trying to get the real facts here, not just like the fantasy of how things were. Like, I want to see it how it really is. Like, I want that clarity. I want to be able to like visualize the truth of what was going on within that connection. And I'm seeing this as something that you've definitely been like working out, okay? Could have also really liked how they made you feel at times. You could have felt like really confident around this person, or just there was like an appreciation for you. I'm getting to like the more that you work through this, the better you're actually feeling about yourself. But there's definitely something still about like how you felt about yourself based off of this relationship. It can be one of those moments when in certain ways you felt really touched by this person because of how confident they made you feel. I'm not saying that was necessarily like all the time, but there were certain times when maybe it was like in a way that nobody else made you feel like that before. And you were like, I really was feeling myself when I was with this person. Like they really like fluffed up my ego. Okay. So, but maybe it was more than that. All right. No shame. So anyway, you connect with this person in a way that it kind of changed your self-perception, and it could have like altered your relationship with yourself. And now that you don't have this person around necessarily, you could be missing that. Like, how do I find these feelings about myself without that person? I'm seeing that you can, and it seems like you're discovering that like you're still that same you with or without this person, but this is kind of like a discovery that's being made over time of like this being you again with or without that person, because that person's just a vehicle to get you feeling like this. There are other vehicles that you can use, and ones that aren't going to be something that can go away, you know? You can find like a concrete path that will never disappear for you. When I say vehicle, I mean this person could have been a vehicle, meaning they were the kind of like, yeah, vehicle to get you to a place where you were feeling confident, right? But you can find other vehicles, you can find other avenues, you can find other ways to get you to that place where you feel confident, and not ways that are going to be pulled back from you. Because you could feel like when you're not connected with this person or when they went away, that they took that from you, but that's just your perception, and you can find other ways to get to that point where you feel good, and you don't need that person for that. But that may have been part of the reason why you liked being around them. Like they could have definitely been somebody that had you feel good about yourself in certain ways, or like they saw you in a way where you wanted to be seen, like they recognized certain things within you, or like they made you feel attractive in certain ways that you may be missing right now. So I'm seeing that's like definitely part of the reason. You're like, they made me feel good, so that's why I'm still holding on to this. Like even the fantasy of, yeah, no, I definitely am getting this sense of like, because of you really harping on this, you may be in a spot where you're like, maybe it's a good idea to reach back out to them. Like maybe this was a real connection. And I mean, who's to say like whether it is or it isn't? That's just something that you get to determine for yourself. But I'm seeing there's like, so let me just be clear. I'm not seeing anything problematic with your relationship with this person. I'm not seeing something come out where it's like, this is just a delusion. Like you didn't have a real connection with this person. Like it was all in your head. I'm not seeing anything like that. Or I'm not seeing anything where like they were lying to you or like had bad intentions or anything like that. I'm not seeing that. Okay. So just let me be clear about this. I'm seeing somebody be in a space where they're like recalling how they felt when they were around somebody from the past. So you can reverse this. Maybe one of your exes is feeling like this, or somebody that you had a past with. Okay. If we don't want to label it here, somebody may be thinking about you and being like, I remember how good they made me feel, and they're not in my life anymore, or it's not like that with them anymore. And I'm remembering like how I really felt like myself when I was around them. And I may come through and make an offer to them, because I am seeing whoever the person is that's been thinking, I felt really good when I was with that person, I want to reach out to them. I'm seeing this is like the plan that's being proposed right now in this person's head. But they've stopped themselves many, many times. But they're remembering, I felt so confident when I was around that person. Like I felt so good when I was around that person. I really felt like they saw me for how I wanted to be seen. I see the Queen of Wands as somebody being in a space where it's like you feel on top of the world. You feel like you're exuding exactly the type of energy that you want to exude, and that it's being received, that it's translating exactly how you want it to translate, and that somebody is seeing you just like that. So that's definitely like an aspect of this connection and why this person is holding on to it, because they may have gone and been with other people. I hope it's not confusing that we're like switching the like narrative a little bit around, like the perspectives around a little bit. This person over here on this side, they may have been with other people, and they're like, all these people that I've been with, they've still never made me feel like that person. Like I've still never had a connection like that person in the past. I do again feel like there's like an idealization a little bit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're trying to get back with this person, it could definitely work in your benefit. But what I'm seeing is that the person over here that's been working on themselves and wanting to be honest with themselves, like, was it really that great, or is it just in my head? This person over here has been working through that, because I'm seeing work that they've been doing on themselves, and they're at a point where they're like, should I let go of this, or is it too precious for me to let go of? And I'm seeing them go back and forth with themselves, like, do I come through and make an offer to them? Do I not make the offer? Do I come through and make the offer? Do I not? I'm seeing they've been like fighting with themselves about whether or not they should come through. This like definitely took an unexpected turn. Okay, so they have love for you for sure. They still feel that. It's super palpable still, and it's like very, very pure as well. It seems like they're also in a space where they feel like this really is giving one of those situations where somebody may have taken a relationship for granted in the past, and things were just like so easy and so compatible. That's not to say like there were never any problems, but somebody may have taken a connection for granted and been like, there are going to be 100 more where that came from. And now you guys are separated from one another, or you broke up, or you're not in each other's lives, or you don't have the same label or whatever. And they've been with other people, and they're like, I've been chasing this feeling, and I am coming to the conclusion that maybe I'm only going to be able to get it from this person. That's the feeling. I'm seeing them actually, like, even get to the point where there's, like, a feeling of being, like, quite stressed out about wanting to come through and make the offer. Let's like also clarify too, if you're the one that's been experiencing this personally, you may be thinking about making an offer to this person that you can't get off your mind. The Four of Pentacles, like, in the purest form of how I see this card, is you asking yourself, is this something worth holding on to or not? Am I holding on to something too tightly that I need to release? Or is this something that I'm not willing to let go of? And I'm seeing that question really be at the forefront. You're like, do I let this love go, or do I want to hold on to it still? There's definitely been at least some sort of break between you and this person. And it's given you time to think. Now, if you were the person within this relationship where you were with someone and you knew what it was from the beginning and you felt a connection and somebody thought that the grass was going to be greener on the other side, it looks very much like they're thinking about coming back to you. Yeah, for real, they want to start something. This person, it doesn't seem like they have... I'm seeing them not all the way come to this conclusion yet, but they're like getting there. This is where we're going. So as far as the amount of time that this is going to take, this may not be an immediate thing, but it is going to be something that's going to be happening. So if you've been like thinking of somebody more often and you're like, I don't know why this person keeps coming to mind, it's because they're thinking about you. So this person is getting to the point where they want to make this offer to you. Again, this person feels, at least at this point in time, they feel like there's very, very pure love between the two of you. Like, you guys have a very special connection with each other. I'm seeing the Ace of Cups here. So this is just somebody feeling like it's difficult to reach that level of purity when it comes to the connection. Like, this is just something that in certain ways it's like it's there or it's not with somebody, and it was there with you guys. So they want to come through. It may be surprising to see this person take up this role of being the one to come through and kind of like approach you rather than the other way around. Maybe not always, but in the particular way that they're going to be doing it, it may be, you may be seeing like a different side of them, is the feeling. So this is somebody wanting to come through and be like, do you want to start something together? Do you want to try things out? I feel like I want to go in this direction with you. Are you interested? They're like proposing this to you. Do you want to connect? You want to see where things go, I'm hearing. This is something that will definitely take some time to work out. So to have Temperance on the bottom of the deck, that means like ease your way into things, like allow things to integrate and assimilate, to kind of test the waters. Okay. Potentially this will lead to potentially like an actual relationship, like a committed relationship, if that's something that you're interested in. You know how I was saying that you may see a different side of this person when they come through? The Death card landed right on top of this. Like, this person, there's like a change, there's like an evolution of sorts with how they come through. Like, I'm seeing something needed to change on their part in order for them to even do this in the first place. It seems also like this break that you've had with this person, one, if you connect with them again, it's not going to be like it was before. This means it's going to be like a whole new ball game with this person. Okay? So certain things I'm sure will feel the same. There are going to be other elements that will be very, very different than how it was before with them. Also, too, it seems like having that space, having that break with this person has allowed you guys to both grow and change. So now, like, your relationship and your dynamic with this person is going to be different as well. Looking at Pluto, Neptune, Gemini, I am hearing Taurus and Scorpio. They, either you or this person, you and or this person, it seems like you would have personal placements, personal planets. So let's talk about this. As far as like zodiac wise, what I'm seeing here, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Gemini, Scorpio. Definitely seeing a heavy theme of like Pluto, Scorpio for sure. I'm also seeing Aquarius. Keep in mind your long-term goals and what you're building, and be honest with yourself about whether or not you feel like this can actually fit, because you just want to make sure that like you guys have similar plans. Like, you want to be thinking about the long term when this comes through, if it's something that you're going to integrate into your life, if your long-term stuff matters to you, like if that's something relevant. Like for some of you, you may be like, me just living in this moment today is all that matters, so I'm not worried about a 5-year plan. Those people, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people here that are like, I have this and I want to be doing this and I see myself over there. Like, make sure that that's compatible with this person, because it seems like this is something that could turn serious and you want to address these things now if you happen to let this person back in your life. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.